Well, hello. Oh. You do better. Will any of us ever do better? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Today we watch Gavin Syme's video. Syme, Seaman, something. Thinking a lot, but not willing to come up and chit chat. What up, Twyla? Katrina? Oh, that was dubstep gutter. Beethoven. It's Saturday, right? Should be Saturday, I think. Yeah, Saturday. Oh. 5-month-old. That's a handful. I didn't really invent First Amendment auditing. I'm just using his title. This is from Gavin Syme. His title is "I invented First Amendment auditing, and I have something to say." And we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. Oh. What up, concerned citizen? Yeah, my mod. Yeah, you can post a link to that.
Hey everyone, I'm Gavin Syme, and about 15 or so years ago, I created what is now known as First Amendment auditing, but it wasn't called that at the time. In fact, it actually just started as I was traveling around as a photographer and started doing.
To be clear, Carlos Miller started First Amendment auditing.
Doing some journalism mixed with activism. Now, at some point, you have probably seen my work like the guy pulls over cop video.
Good. Hey, the reason I stopped you today is because I saw this car was unmarked. Is this a registered unmarked vehicle for undercover work?
I have a few things to say about auditing because there's been a lot of talk about it in the past years. Just recently in early 2026, one of the most famous auditors, if you will, James Freeman, has disappeared from the internet. His channel disappeared, and James did a lot of videos. In fact, James, when I left the United States for my own safety in 2017, James, who was a fan of my work, started doing videos as well. And sometime shortly after that, this started becoming called auditing. But I was also recently watching a video with the excellent Louis Rossmann, who is a defender of rights in general, and in particular deals with things like right to repair and our right to our content, our right to our cars, the things we buy, things like that. I really enjoy Louis's videos, and usually we're on the same page. And he was talking about this drama that's going on where we have auditors who are now suing other channels for using their content, and those channels, they make the basis of their channel to mock auditors and say that they're criminals. And I really think that as we've seen the world get more and more off the rails every day, it's time to discuss this. And I really wanted to put a baseline for what this really is. What was the original intent of what is now called auditing? Now, you've probably seen some of these various videos, whether I was in Boise or whether I was refusing a checkpoint or whether I was asking at the courthouse over our legally required gun lockbox or pulling over cops to scold them for not following the law while they constantly stop and harass and extort us. But let's go back a little bit. In fact, this all started not with my first video, because my first video was pretty bad, and it goes all the way back to 2012.
Talk about the river. Tell them about the river.
Okay, you do it.
You want me to do it? See?
Yeah.
Here's Cyrus. And there's Mama. And there's the hot springs right there.
I was actually traveling with my family doing photography, and we were on a road trip in Texas coming up. I believe it was from like Big Bend National Park, and there were these Homeland Security checkpoints. Now things like Homeland Security and ICE and their abuses are all over the news. But at the time, everyone was just like, oh, it's for our safety.
It was Gavin's videos and James's videos that I initially started watching, that on Facebook actually, that got me into all of this when I got out of prison.
It's for security. And so I didn't like this. It really bothered me. And I had seen some of these other videos. And my theory as I studied these videos is, why don't we make this a conversation? Why don't we do journalism? Because I'm a photographer, I'm a journalist, and I can also be an activist.
Had to be probable cause to detain someone.
I need to pull over secondary.
You need to answer my question, sir. He states that he doesn't need to answer my questions. You are recording, correct?
Now, I was super nervous and I didn't really know what I was doing. Even though I had done my research, this was terrifying for me at the time because no one was doing anything like this. This was the early days of cell phones, right? When you didn't know if they were just going to freeze up and crash in the middle of it. And so I'm sitting in the car with my wife filming, the kids screaming in the background. And this wasn't a video that I was particularly proud of, other than I was proud of having stood up for myself. This was the very first that I know of this style that is now called auditing, where you do journalism. You film, but then if there's an interaction, maybe you have a debate about your rights, about the Constitution, but I would turn back to the
Checkpoints, recording the cops. That's not fucking auditing, homie. This is... What up, bro? What up, bro? I got the real life homies in the chat.
the camera and talk to the audience, explain what was going on. Before this, most of the videos of these kind of interactions in these early cell phone days and before was people just filming and documenting. A lot of times there was no context, there was no reporting. Auditing now has almost become like this profession, this YouTuber profession where you go and you try.
This is why viewers and everybody lumps it all in the same, is you talk about auditing while you have cop watch videos and shit up on your screen. They are distinctly different. There was whole groups, cop watch, that were created for specifically recording the police. It wasn't about going into buildings. It wasn't about journalism, or well, it was about journalism, but not in the sense that he's trying to portray it right now. It's very specific to the police. Not like, you know, this broad spectrum of whatever we want to call it, just and then slap the label auditing on it. That's the problem that I have with a lot of this shit. Is you muddy the waters, and then these retards that go and do dumbass shit that is nothing that I want to associate with, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't want to, and you just label it all the same thing. So I get idiots in my comments. They'll come into my chat. They'll be like, when's the next time you're going to go do an audit? It's like, bro, what?
Try and film things and get a reaction and make it exciting. But that's not what I was doing, even though people often accuse me of it. Oftentimes, I would simply stop and feel the need to document, to be a journalist, and I would start filming at a distance and not even say anything except maybe talk to the camera and explain what I was seeing And inevitably, the police would come and interact. Now, what was born out of this in auditing is going out and taking cameras and putting them in. And then when the people come out and inevitably kind of go Karen on you, you get in a fight with them, not physically, but you kind of troll them and you bait them and you make them look silly. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with making government look silly, with exposing their corruption.
Government looks silly. Gavin, are we a little out of restaurants, fucking schools, like doing dumb shit? This is a completely out of touch.
And I want to be clear, as this term auditing came out and I saw and followed a lot of these people, a lot of really good videos came out of it. There was some that I was like, hey, aren't we just mocking and trolling people? Is that really the message? Because my message was always, and I would chastise myself over this. I would go and say, look, the message is freedom. The message is liberty and justice for all. I would get called a lot of names at the time as we did these scenarios. But people would say, Gavin, you're just going out looking for trouble. And I would be like, no, I just felt like I should stop and document. Like, that's who I am. And they made the trouble, right? I always let them make the trouble. Now, this concept has spread outside the U.S.
Dark, this is Gavin Syme. He's one of the originators of this genre. Not the originator, like his title claims, but one of them.
Down here in Mexico and probably in other areas as well, people have started doing similar things as I originally did.
What up,
and you see a
Unclean?
lot of this like in Michoacan, areas like that, where there is a lot of police corruption. But they're very good at it. They're very calm out of it. A lot of times it's actually lawyers doing it. And they're going out down here and they're filming these police. They roll up where police are harassing and extorting people with a camera.
A link to his channel's in the live chat.
And they start lecturing them and educating them in the law and educating the person they're harassing.
Identifícate. Le estás pidiendo a mi cliente 15,000 pesos.
¿Quién le está pidiendo? ¿Quién le está pidiendo?
Hay una parte acusadora.
Ah, pues tráemela a ver. Eres abogado, tráemela.
They do a very good job at it, and that's something that spread from this as well.
What up, Gavin?
Now, I can't claim to have like invented everything. I'm just showing you the origins of how we kind of came to this source.
Gavin, we got to get the differences straight here between First Amendment auditing and cop watching. There is a significant difference, and it has devolved since you have left the United States. It's seriously devolved. We're doing dispensaries, liquor stores, and all that good stuff now. Like, you're talking, the videos you have up are cop watching. I mean, Berkeley came out with the cop watch, Berkeley Cop Watch. You know, this was a very different genre and subject altogether. First Amendment auditing is what everybody likes to paint on some idiot that has a cell phone and a YouTube channel now. So I'm a proponent against using that fucking term because it also hurts people in the courtroom. So when somebody goes and gets arrested for their activism and they tell their lawyer or the judge or the prosecutor, I was just exercising my First Amendment right. I was just that's a problem for them now. That's seen as a stigma against you in the court. I never watched a cop watcher that existed before. Bro, cop watching was around long before First Amendment auditing.
Or a style that really is just activism mixed with investigative journalism. As this happened, I got the notice of a lot of different people. Bear in mind, I was pretty much the only one doing this. Not that no one else ever filmed police, but in this style of a journalist, documentarian, activist kind of combined style. And I would always explain myself. I would explain the principle. I would close the video out talking about the law and the Constitution. And I made it about an educational thing because I wanted people to be aware of their rights. So I would draw the attention of what the time was more the right-leaning patriot kind of people. And I often stood with them on gun rights and rancher rights and land rights. And then what happened as the right or the patriots became more and more state worshiper and Trump came and there was a lot of rhetoric and all this stuff going on. And I was moving forward. I never wanted to be a part of their party. And this is where things kind of fell apart in terms of me being the star of the show, because I would look at the left and say, what you guys are doing is fascism. And then as the right came along and the right was like, oh no, but Gavin, you need to support the cops. Oh no, but Gavin, you have to oppose the immigrants. And I would be like, no, 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 that was never the message. The message was always freedom, liberty, justice for everyone equally. Ironically, now the people that were more left-leaning and mainstream that mocked me and said I was a troublemaker then are now on the streets with their cameras filming the crimes of places like Homeland Security and ICE as they completely trample and destroy the Constitution and violate the rights, because there was never a concept either in our history, our constitutions, or in my message.
Thank you for that, Adam. Appreciate you. Hey, Leroy, I don't know why the fuck you come in here asking me where James Freeman's channel is, bro. I don't know, and I don't care. You keep like, I'm ignoring you intentionally, bro. I don't know, and I don't care.
That rights are for citizens, that rights are for a special class of people, that people should be denied due process or don't deserve it because they did this or that. My message from the beginning, and the message to me of what a journalist should represent, was always justice. So over time, I lost a lot of support of these factions because I wouldn't support their agendas. I just cared about freedom. Eventually, that led to me leaving the United States and actually becoming an official refugee.
Which I don't blame you for. Everybody thinks this dude's crazy for leaving, but after I have spent years chasing the cops around, figuring out their dirty little secrets and putting it on the internet, you know, there's a reason I live off grid on my own property out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So I didn't go to Mexico. I'm still in my state, but at least I can see a motherfucker coming now. You know, it's like I can't just send some crackhead off the street to come fuck with me. Yeah. I never thought you were crazy. I thought it was weird that you bounced, but that was when I was just a viewer. Then when I started getting out and cop watching all the time, chasing the cops around 10 hours a day, 5 hours a day for months on end during their entire shifts, finding out who the dirty ones are, getting information from other cops. Like you know the game, and then they start like getting real nervous about you. They don't fucking like you. Then they start sending cars to sit outside, and then they start getting into your emails and sending Google search warrants and I've been through all of it. I'm very well aware. So no, Gavin's not crazy for leaving the United States. Actually, that was a smart move, because had he not left at the rate he was going, they were going to put him in prison. That's what their goal is with a lot of these big channels that they see as leaders or proponents of this message that they don't fucking like. The goal is to incriminate them on something, doesn't really fucking matter what, and then send them to prison. And I mean, I'm a perfect example of that. What did they go into what did they send Google search warrants for in my emails? They were trying to get me on what? Conspiracy, felony fucking conspiracy, and electronic harassment. What? For posting information that was sent to me through a source. So they're sending Google search warrants so they could look through my stuff. That's not a conspiracy that this is, that these people the cops are bad and they'll go after you if you point out how bad they are, because it's like a cult club police thing kind of going on. It's really weird. It's really weird. You guys all just see like cops on TV and you're like, yeah, that's cops, but no, that's not. There's a lot more depth to what the fuck is going on. I invented filming cops. No, I was saying that. No, I use your title too because it gets people's attention because they're going to disagree with you immediately. Carlos Miller is commonly recognized as the one who coined the term First Amendment auditing. But there is a collective of people that just in general started recording the police and then government stuff, and then it has devolved, in my opinion, to what we're doing right now. And it's not getting any better. Especially not with this fucking whole lawsuit and yeah.
In Mexico, which caused a lot of controversy as well.
Okay. Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
But when I left the United States, I had fans in people like James Freeman, who then came out and had watched my content. And I've been told this personally.
Leroy, I like nobody, homie. Just start right there, and then if that's your basis, you're gonna understand the rest of everything else. I don't fucking like nobody. If I knew where Freeman's channel was at or what he's doing, I'd tell you, but I don't fucking know. I've said it several times. And this stream, the last stream, the last stream, the other stream, every fucking stream, somebody comes in and asks me like I know. I don't know, bro. Why would I know? Why would I know anything? I don't fucking talk to none of you motherfuckers. Why would I know?
And said, you know, Gavin's gone, we have to step up now. So again, even though a guy like James Freeman was sometimes more aggressive than me, more in your face, more out looking for it, there was this kind of underlying message of cops have to stop abusing our rights. We have a right to film. We have a right to our rights, and people need to be left alone. And as this grew and eventually became called Auditing, I watched a lot of these videos, and some were very good, and some were just people trying to sensationalize and get in people's face and mock. And this brings us to the current point. Because this morning, I was watching a Louis Rasmussen video, and he started talking about
the first thing I need to say before I get into anything else in this video is that I do not disrespect the concept of First Amendment auditing. I think it's a very important thing to do. I have been kicked out of legislative hearings before when I show up with my camera to record these right to repair hearings and to show you what lobbyists say.
Now, Lewis is doing this video where he's talking about what's going on in this scenario. Now, apparently one of these auditors by the name of Denver Metro Audits is suing another channel whose whole shtick is to mock auditors and say they're criminals. Now, I understand the frustration of this because before the term auditing existed, I was getting mocked online and saying I was just out looking for trouble. And I quite genuinely was not even looking to make money from YouTube. Again, this was the early days. No one else was doing this. There was no template. There was no format. I basically had to create that format and say, look, we go out, we film, we interact, we debate for the law and the Constitution and people's rights, and then we explain why and we educate people. And if that goes viral, great. And it did. A lot. So it's not like I'm a fan of this frauditor troll because he goes out and finds people like me. I think a lot of the videos have been removed, but I'm pretty sure my videos have been on this channel. I know guys like James Freeman are frequently on this channel. And this guy basically hates the auditors, or he's also just looking for YouTube revenue, which is probably more likely. And he takes their content and then mocks the auditors. So as I'm understanding it, this auditor then filed a...
And that's a correct generalization of that dude's channel. That's why I don't like that dude. It's yeah, you can mock people, whatever, but if you're going to point out that there's something wrong with what somebody's doing, then actually point out what's wrong with what they're doing. Don't just... This dude's whole channel is, he's mean. Look at how he pointed the camera at her boobs too long. Look at, he said mean words to them. Oh no, what is he doing? Like, it's so annoying, dude. You gotta do fucking better. Do better, bro. Do better, frauditor troll. There's so much shit you could critique with all of these fucking videos, even in my own, but you choose to just sit there and cry and be a fucking asshole. It's crazy. I know I'm not doing much better on my live streams, but we're not talking about me.
Removal complaint on YouTube against this guy who mocks auditors, which then YouTube sided with the troll channel, saying that it was essentially fair use.
Bro, Leroy, get out of your fucking feelings, homie. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Shh, 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 shh.
Even though, yes, this guy does use other people's content verbatim, oftentimes what would arguably be outside of fair use, but okay, YouTube agreed with him. So then the auditor who had their content used went to DMCA lawyer, who is a scummy lawyer that just relishes going after other people and is using him apparently to sue this channel in actual court. I have never tried to sue someone for using my videos. And bear in mind, a lot of people have used my videos because I was the first guy doing these kind of videos. A lot on what Frauditor Troll does with the videos. Now, there have been times where YouTube said, hey, this person's using your video. Do you want to take it down? And I look at somebody just mocking me and not even using it for the message. And I said, yes. But there's also been times when those same people came back and said, dude, hey, I got a strike for this on YouTube and that's going to hurt my channel. Can you retract it? And I did. Because the message is never about.
Yeah, hey, Gavin, I don't know if you were here in the beginning of this stream, but I started watching your videos and Freeman's videos on Facebook actually before I was ever on YouTube doing any of this stuff. So you're definitely one of the originators.
Out hurting each other, but about defending what is good. Now, what Louis Rasmussen is talking about, and I'll link his video, is the fact that this DMCA thing is used to suppress people. It's used to prevent people from accessing their devices, from fixing their vehicles or their tractors. And he has a lot of videos talking about how bad the DMCA Copyright Act is. And then he goes into this lawyer, and he's going off.
Losing the message. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's devolving. Yeah, for sure. It's turning into prank channels, essentially.
On this lawyer, not just because he filed a lawsuit over copyright, because this lawyer's whole thing is not about fair use. It's just about suing people. He wants to get,
if he wins. Apparently, he gets clout in the auditing community because everybody's going to be rushing to hire him and sue the shit out of everybody. That's what he.
So this lawyer is hoping to solicit a bunch of new clients so that he can start suing people over people using other people's videos. Now, Lewis is really going off on this lawyer because a lawyer should be exercising professionalism, and this guy's like mocking the guy he's suing,
harassment and
his
intimidation of
family.
opposing parties in pending litigation. New York RPC Rule 4.4a. And a lawyer shall not keep that in mind. Over here, the commission created and published for defendants and Newman's clients lawsuit. After the complainant mentioned in a live stream that his hair was thinning, Newman created an image depicting him as bald. See Exhibit 16. At physical appearance. Described his wife as beautiful during a live stream, Newman created and published an image mocking her physical appearance.
Now, I'm very familiar with this because as all of this grew and I was kind of a leader of doing this kind of thing, we then had people like Kelly Stewart, like James Freeman. I was there on the ground at the Bundy Ranch, but I would also support the marches, whether they were from Native Americans or Black Lives Matter, and was sometimes doing videos on that stuff as well. So I kind of sided with no faction. I just wanted us to have freedom. And so these trolls from all sides would come after me and do this kind of stuff too. Not simply disagreeing or mocking me, but posting cartoons and memes of my family or my kids or mocking us. And what Lewis is taking on here is the fact that this is actually a lawyer, a member of the bar, which also shouldn't exist, but that's been discussed in other videos, that is actually out mocking.
Looks like Denver Metro Audits posted that, and the lawyer just kind of laughed at it.
And trolling to try and get clients to sue other people who do not have the resources to defend themselves. It is, now you can go watch these various videos in question rather than me having to go too far into this. But the reason I wanted to make a video about this is because I created the concept of auditing. I'm not saying that I made it profitable, right? You had guys like James Freeman come along who are actually better at feeding the algorithm just as the algorithm was becoming a thing. Because back when I started, it was just about subscribers and getting content. These days, you kind of have to feed the algorithm to get views. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. I have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but most of the time when I post a video like this, it will get a couple thousand views. But I want to come back to this concept of what is now called First Amendment auditing. The idea of auditing, even though I didn't invent that term, is that you are exercising your rights so that you don't lose them. You're being a journalist. You're documenting the violation of other people's rights and speaking out for them. I would always have butterflies in my stomach.
That's not even what auditing is anymore.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if they were going to shoot me because the police in the United States were just gunning people down on the streets and still are. What is called law enforcement in the United States is really just the suppression of people's rights at this point. And it has gotten worse and worse and worse. And so while the sides and who is standing up and who is speaking out has changed, depending on who is being targeted, my message has always just been, hey, we're all being targeted. This is a government working together, all their parties, all their sides. It's all the same behind the scenes, working against us, the people. And it's happening all over the world. And so we take a camera and we use our voice because our words have power, and we do so with principle, and we defend everyone equally. Now, aside from feeling at risk when I would go out and do these, I would agonize afterward because these videos sometimes would have 1 million views the next day. I would wake up in the morning, like with the pulling over cops, and be on the front page of national news of the entire country. Because remember, this stuff was new. No one else was doing videos like this. And so I would wake up with my messages blowing up. I would wake up to posts where Ashton Kutcher was sharing my video, or I was on the front page of Yahoo News. And as a journalist, as an activist who wanted to get a message out, this was good. But it also led to a lot of spotlight on me. It led to a lot of threats. It led to a lot of feeling of insecurity. And so I would always be reviewing as I would take a video and then go edit it and post it, and chastising myself, not just for what was in the video, but even for if I was feeling mocking and egotistical, or if I was being too nasty to people or trying to belittle them in my mind. Like, I would analyze myself in it.
And this is where we differ, Gavin. I'm a nasty motherfucker when I'm talking to the cops, and I don't care. It don't bother me one bit. They are paid my doll hairs to sit there and take every ounce of it. And if they don't fucking like it, Walmart's always hiring. The Waltons.
The auditing community is bad. A lot of the videos they've done are really great. Sometimes they cross lines that I wouldn't cross, but I've learned over the years to not always hate on people and tear them down because they do something different than I do. It's not necessarily wrong to use curse words or to tell a police officer to F off. It's not necessarily wrong to mock government officials for the abuses and kind of make a satire out of it, because it's one of the ways that we cope with the level of abuse that we've risen to, not just in the United States, but across the world, as governments think that they can control every aspect of our life and murder us if we don't obey. These people are just other human beings. They do not have authority over us. And like I often say to the so-called patriots who have forgotten who they are, who have forgotten freedom and forgotten the Constitution, as they say, I voted for this, I say, you don't have a right to vote away the rights of others. And you never did. And so now we've come to a time that is surreal, where the people that are more left, the people that before were mocking me and saying I should be in jail for my speech, are now the ones taking to the streets resisting the government abuse, as the people on the right who call themselves patriots, don't even get me started, are saying that they should be in jail. But do you see what's happening? As we mock each other, as we sue each other, as we go head to head with each other, what happens? The government who created this chaos, the government who thinks that they have a right to tell us we can't hold them accountable, who thinks that they can order us around, fine us, extort us, arrest us, lock us in cages, and even kill us for the smallest of infractions.
When you frame it like this, it makes it seem like the government is some separate entity from the people, when the government is a formation of the people, and any one of us can become the government. I mean, Yeah, and that's where I think, and I've talked about this before. I'm sure you haven't heard it, but that's where there's an evolution that needs to happen. Where this is a de-evolution of the things that have been going on. Is this holding them accountable thing has been going on for fucking forever. What's it accomplishing? Let's be real here. What is it accomplishing? Nothing. So all these people that have spent years doing this and have a knowledge base and understand how everybody views things, these are the people that need to move into the positions of the government and start taking control of some shit. When you frame it like this, it makes people that normally wouldn't think along those lines think that it's some separate thing that they could never be part of. And that's the illusion that's been painted for so long. And that's not how it is. It's not how it is. There's other ways of doing shit besides putting a camera on it. We start over. Yeah, that's a nice thought, but the reality of that is scary to say the least.
That government doesn't get the heat on them, because we should be using our voices, which are powerful, our cameras, which are powerful, and a message of hope and loving our neighbor and liberty.
That's right. You did run, didn't you?
For everyone. And if it's not for everyone, you're not a police officer.
You're right. Voting. The fuck? I didn't say anything about voting. Not even change from the inside, man. Not even that. But you can cause disruption. You understand the concept of introducing a virus into a computer system, right? You want change of some sort. How the fuck do you completely rewire a computer system and all the shit on it? You introduce a virus to it.
Officer should not be there to look for ways to generate revenue and extort you at every turn. They shouldn't be looking for ways with legislators to create new crimes where there's no victim so that they can control us through fear, intimidation, and extortion. The point of what is now called First Amendment auditing was simply to be investigative journalists, to be activists, to defend our communities and our neighbors from the corruption the government has become.
Do you hear that, dispensary and private business auditors, what he just said? Nothing that you guys are doing is encompassed by what he just said. He just left all of you out. So you're not First Amendment auditors. Do you understand that? All of you that do that nonsense were just left in the dust. Now you're prank channels. You're not even included in this genre. That's the point I've been trying to make, is there's idiots that are muddying the waters and confusing the viewers on what a First Amendment audit is. Now they think going and standing outside of a restaurant filming people eating and waiting for somebody to get mad enough to come out and say something to them is a fucking First Amendment audit. Literally, that's what's happening now. The things you describe sound nice, but that's not what's going on anymore.
And what I see, and I'm not here to hate on auditors or anything like that.
I
see a lot of their videos and I value that. But also we need to remember that we're all human beings. The goal isn't to mock an old lady at the library. The goal isn't to make people who are disabled, as Lewis was talking about in this video, or people who are bald feel worse about themselves. It's not to mock their families and their children. I've been on the receiving end of that. Well, now you have channels like Frauditor Troll dedicated to mocking the defense of people who oftentimes are just trying to defend the First Amendment and our rights, which is also wrong. This guy who's now getting sued and mocked and feeling the pain of what he's done to other people also doesn't deserve that. The auditors who come and mock and try to degrade people. It was never about degrading people. Mocking government officials who are a clown show, violating our rights and run on ego and arrogance and revenue is not the same as just trying to make people feel lesser about themselves. I think we're losing the plot.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Losing the plot. Hey, man, you can be like, understanding and, let's all hug and hold hands and shit, but I'm not that kind of dude. Not that kind of dude.
Guys, I get that we always want to defend ourselves, but I'm here to set the record straight on what this was really about. And to Denver Metro, I get it. People are always taking our videos. People mock us. But you know what? Drop it. Working with the sleazy lawyers that have got...
This is like my third time watching this. Like all the way through. I like to watch things a couple times. Sometimes I won't watch some shit, but stuff like this, I'll watch it a couple times. That way I can hear your work. Because, you watch a movie one time and then you watch it again and it's like, oh, I don't remember that part. That's kind of why I do that.
got us to where we are in the first place will fix nothing. They've always taken the videos. Some people for good because they like them. Other people to mock us. Sometimes it's fair use. Sometimes it's on the line. Sometimes it's not. But drop it. This isn't the message. This is not who we need to be. The point of being...
Hey, didn't DMA just put a video out like calling Rossman a gangster and shit because he said the same thing basically? Is this guy, is he trying to pull the gangster thing right now too, Chris? He's basically saying the same shit.
Being a First Amendment auditor is not your ego and it's not your pocketbook. It's to defend people's rights. And I think we just need to swing back to that. All of us. I think it's really important to understand that being honorable, loving freedom can in one day mean reaching out a hand to help your enemy up. And
appreciate that, Troll Media Group.
In the very next day can be opposing that enemy to defend your neighbor who he's trying to abuse. This idea of us versus them, of left versus right. It doesn't matter whether it's happening in Mexico, in the United States, in Europe, or in Iran. When they turn us against each other, we lose. When we say, you know what, we're going to be honorable, we're going to be principled, we're not going to back down, we're going to defend our rights. That's the core message of First Amendment auditing. Because remember that First Amendment, the whole idea, even though the Constitution's not perfect and we don't derive our rights from constitutions, the idea is that they remind us of our rights, the rights that exist for everyone. I'm the guy that started this. And I just kind of want to remind you to use it for good. Use your cameras to put the light of day on darkness and on abuse.
At the dispensary and the restaurant and the drive-through at Starbucks and McDonald's and the banks.
And on tyranny. We can all have our styles, and I'm not here to tell everybody how their speech should be, but maybe we should just stop and think, are we producing a benefit for our posterity? All right, you guys, I hope you'll just maybe spread this, think about it. Remember what the point of all this was back when I started doing it. And I didn't invent journalism. Journalism and activism and investigative journalism. These are all things that have been around for a long, long time. All we did is take the technology we have today and adapt it in a way to communicate. And if we fail to communicate and educate people with that, maybe we need to think about how we're doing it. All right, you guys. Peace.
That was Gavin Symes' video. His link is pinned in the comments if you want to go over there and check his channel out, watch his other videos. I really don't. I think this argument that the law is already on the books with the whole DMA thing and the 1201 and how they keep saying that the law is already on the books. I think that's funny because if we go back in history sometime, I mean, it used to be a punishable crime to cheat on your wife. It used to be a punishable crime to free another man's slave. Do you understand? Like those laws were on the books at one point. So this argument, when you're supposed to be an activist, a proponent for freedoms of all sorts, but specifically the First Amendment, the Fourth, the Fifth, that kind of thing. But you're an activist for rights and stuff, and you're using this argument. Well, it was already on the books. It's like, bro, so slavery was on the books too at one point. So you'd be the guy that would be upset that somebody freed. It was already on the books, guys. Slavery. What are you arguing about? I know it's an extreme example, but if you think about it, it's not that much different because they are creating a tool that makes it easier to sue people like Gavin, me, the news, people that share content. And the fundamental misunderstanding of that and then trying to portray it as something else to an audience is fucking crazy to me. It's like we're activists, but we're going to sit here and make arguments against like, oh, dude, it's so contradictory and muddling in my mind. It's hard to think about. Fucking shit. No more than 7 dildos. You can't possess more than 7 dildos in Arizona, I guess. Yeah, man, I'm not with that. Like, that's why Rossman is a advocate against that law. It's one of those laws. It's on the books, but it shouldn't be. Do you understand? But you're over here advocating it and using it just to get a win and then crying about, well, it's already on the books. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I thought you were an activist and a proponent for freedoms. Excessive marijuana smoking. That's funny. Yeah. I think that's just a really weird argument to me. It's on the books. There's been a lot of crazy shit that's a law too. Imagine activists from back then like arguing with, well, it's there, man. Later, Gavin. Thanks for stopping by. I also invented the internet, the light bulb, and buttons. That was my thing. Everyone else is doing it, so why not? Why not? Ever a new law coming out about filming the police? Yeah. Should we watch all of DMA's video right now and create a market replacement? Market value replacement, whatever the fucking terms are. On what equals excessive? Yeah. Oh, I know. That's how they do it in Arizona. The legislators will write up something like that. They'll leave it ambiguous and not clarified, okay? With the intent is to create more lawsuits and stuff like that where they're going to... what excessive is going to be defined in the cases that get brought. And they do that because the people that a lot of people that'll get arrested and picked up on that are not going to challenge it to the point of going to, you know, the Supreme Court here in Arizona, the Ninth Circuit, and getting a definition on what excessive is. So they're going to make a whole fucking bunch of money before that gets defined. That's kind of why they do that. It's a revenue play. Cooking burgers. Oh, I know. It'll get crazy. It'll get crazy. Does that make sense though? That's why they do stuff like that. That's why when you see a law that they're proposing and they don't define a section like that, they don't define what excessive marijuana smoke is. It's because at the end of the day, the government, these people, it's a business. It's a fucking business, and they're trying to make money. And the way business owners try to make money by doing markups on parts, charging you for drive distance, all this little kind of shit, it's just tweaked different for the government. How they're going to make money is they're going to leave, you know, excessive ambiguous, and then they're going to charge a whole bunch of people with this shit, make a whole bunch of money on court fees, lawyer costs, fucking fines, probation, jail time, maybe all kinds of shit. Fines, you know, from their building and location and shit. And then somebody has the money, the time, the energy, and the lawyers to challenge it, they're going to define what excessive is, and then it's going to slow that down. It's always a way to make money. They got to figure out how to make fucking money. Does that make sense? You know, like a mechanic will do this and do this to try to make some money, and this is how they do that. Unless somebody challenges it before it gets there. Did we want to watch the DMA video? Was that a thing? Did you guys want to watch that? Did you already watch it? Denver Metro Audits? I watched most of it. I wasn't
three
impressed.
balls. Am I going to?
Well, you got 3 balls, bro. Only seen part of it. You haven't seen it? The revenue? Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be driving high on fucking pills or weed anyway, dude. Oh, man. Download the video first.
He's going to take down the DMCA lawyer, which is my lawyer, right? And one of his talking points was that my attorney told someone to go unalive themselves.
Wait, what happened?
He's going to take down the DMCA lawyer.
What a weird
which
place
is
to
my
start
lawyer,
it.
right? And one of his talking points was that my attorney told someone to go unalive themselves. And that's true. He did say that. But we're going to get into that about context. You know, context matters and all that stuff too. But
Context doesn't really matter. I know he's going to bring up the emails and be like, well, look, Rossman said the same thing. It's like, yeah, but Rossman's not a lawyer, bro. There's no rules of obligation to be a lawyer for him. And I don't understand. He did it too. That's such a childish argument.
Louis Rossman, it doesn't give you very much credibility when that's your main talking point. And no more than 3 months ago, you literally did the exact same thing. That's right. Louis Rossman told someone via email twice to go unalive themselves. And yet, Auditor Shoal. Some of you may have heard of the creator Louis Rossman, who has recently become interested in my 1201 lawsuit against Auditor Shoal. And if you are a follower of Louis Rossman, if you have been following this story on the 1201, or if you're just a subscriber of his and you
I'm not a follower. I'm a watcher, though.
really support him, you're definitely not going to want to miss this. So recently, he's become very interested in this lawsuit about the 1201. Now, we're going to talk about the 1201 and how he's basically just straight up wrong about a lot of the accusations he's making about the implications of the 1201. But not only that, he made a video saying that he's going to take down the DMCA lawyer, which is my lawyer, right? And one of his talking points was that my attorney told someone to go unalive themselves. And that's true. He did say that. But we're going to get into that about context. You know, context matters and all that stuff too. But Louis Rossman, it doesn't give you very much credibility when that's your main talking point. And no more than 3 months ago, you literally did the exact same thing. That's right. Louis Rossman told someone via email twice to go unalive themselves. And yeah, of course, I have receipts. So we're going to.
So what, bro? That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the fucking point. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. I've done it too. So what? So what? Go play in traffic. You know what I mean? Go swallow a bullet or something. You know what I mean? I've done that kind of shit too. So what? That's not the point. I'm not a lawyer. Rossman's not a lawyer. You can't file a bar complaint on me. I mean, sure, if I'm in a specific state and I do that kind of thing, then it could be a crime. But, you know, that's not the scenario we're talking about here. It's a lawyer who's not supposed to do that.
We're going to jump straight into that. But we're also going to talk about the 1201, but I'm going to just bring in the good stuff right away. Now, after you see this, if you still support him, then you're just nothing but a hypocrite because...
Yeah, if you still support him, then you're nothing but a hypocrite. Me too. If you still support me, you guys are fucking dumb. All of you people in here, hopefully all of you hate me and you're hate watching right now, because if you support me, you're just dumb because somebody said so. You're a big dummy. Who keeps getting blocked in the chat? What's going on here? They can... Don't use slurs in chat. What are you talking about? Oh, because you're... Yeah. Email me your gamer tag. I'll play. Not right now, but at some point. Let the crybaby cry, bro.
If you are one of the people that is saying, oh, the DMCA lawyer so bad, you told someone to go unalive yourself and you're sending in bar complaints and stuff, but you don't hold Louis Rossman accountable for literally doing the same thing.
How? Can I get an explanation on how?
Then that just proves you're just nothing but a follower. Now, I will give Louis Rossman some credit because I'm going to give my attorney the same credit. When my attorney told someone to go unalive themselves, he didn't mean literally go unalive yourself, right? I mean, we're all adults. We can figure that out. It means go F yourself, okay? And I'll give Louis Rossman the same benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he didn't mean that to be literal either. He probably just meant go screw yourself, man, right? So let's just...
Adam with another 10 memberships. Thank you for that, dude. We do appreciate you here. That's not what that means. What
just jump straight at, and I'll give Louis Rossman the same benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he didn't mean that to be literal either. He probably just meant go screw yourself, man, right? So let's just jump straight into the proof, the receipts. Okay, here we go. This is an email sent to me. DMA, proof of Louis Rossman is a felon criminal telling people to unalive themselves. That's what he told my attorney, that you committed a felony, blah, blah, blah. So let's just jump straight down to the beginning of this email thread here. Okay, here we go. So here we go from Louis Rossman, YouTube at rossmangroup.com. Now let's go to Louis Rossman's YouTube channel right here, and let's just confirm this is the correct email, because we don't want to, make accusations if we don't know for sure what's going on here. So hold on, let me refresh this. Okay.
Hey, this guy that in his email chain, he must have watched all this. He's like, oh, he did it to me too, guys. He did it to me too. Here, let me send this to somebody.
Okay, so let's just make sure that it's his email, email address, not a robot, and submit. Here we go. YouTube at rossmangroup.com. So there you go, guys. It is the correct email. Okay, so let's see what he wrote to somebody who was emailing him in an email thread. He says, after years of typing like a conspiracy, you of all people are the person to say, who cares if you're being recorded? You are a joke, sir. So he calls people a conspiracy. Now, if you're following this story that Louis Rossman is putting together about the 1201, he said specifically how my attorney was making fun of someone in a wheelchair, right? Because my attorney said, oh, you're just a loser in your mom's basement that can't afford a new wheelchair, right? Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's not really a nice thing to say, but it doesn't give you very much credibility, Louis Rossman, when you're over here calling someone R word. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube.
Retarded?
Right? See, same kind of thing, right? And also, Louis Rossman, the thing is that you cherry pick stuff. So I always talk about blame shifting and it being a narcissistic trait. And it's funny how you just show these things to make my attorney look bad, but you don't show the months of abuse that he went through from these people, of them sending him death threats and all the emails and all the abuse that he took, right? No, you just show this part when he responds to it. It's like when I go record in a public building, in which you said that you actually agree with people recording in public and you want to have that right. And then people say, oh, look how rude he is. Look how rude he is to the public employees. When no one talks about their rude behavior that started it, and now I'm just reciprocating their energy, right? That's all he's doing. He's reciprocating their energy. It's like when you're in an abusive relationship and somebody abuses you and abuses you and abuses you, and then finally you have enough and you just blow up, right? And you freak out. And then what does the narcissist do? See, look at you. You're crazy. You're crazy. Look how you're acting, right? It's called blame shifting, and it's a narcissistic trait. I'm not saying you're a narcissist, but you're definitely displaying narcissistic behavior, buddy. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to, let's see what else we have on here. Because we're not done. So here we go.
24 minutes. We could do this.
It's a conspiracy R word. Yeah.
Let's speed it up a little bit.
But, how dare my attorney say anything about, that you can't afford a new wheelchair, right? Shame on him.
Adam with 10 more memberships. Thank you for that.
So this one was on Monday, November 3rd at 7:07 a.m. Okay. Where he called him an R word. Then we come up here. Now we're at November 3rd, 7:37 a.m. Again, this is from Louis Rossman. And he says, you are by far the world's shittiest.
Bro, why are you in my chat crying like a straight bitch right now? Can you explain that to everybody that's reading your chats? Why you keep typing bitch made comments over and over and over? Did your tampon fall out or something? Can somebody get this motherfucker another tampon? Because he is leaking all over the chat and it's bothering us. Are you okay? Okay. Do you need like a warm glass of milk and a fucking cookie and a blanket or something? What's wrong with you, bro? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug and a pat on the back? Shut the fuck up. Quit crying.
Conspiracy theorist.
Thank you, Adam.
Go unalive yourself. Go unalive yourself. Okay, so if you are one of the people, again, reiterate, that is calling my attorney out for saying go unalive yourself when he had taken months and months of abuse from these people and finally he had enough, but you're not going to hold Louis Rossman accountable for literally doing the same thing, and he does it one more time, I'm going to show you. Then what's wrong with you?
How?
I better see people in his comment section calling him out for telling someone to go unalive himself. Okay. Okay, let's check out the last one here. And this one here is Monday, November 3rd, 8:18, again from Louis Rossman. And he just simply said, go unalive yourself. So if you want to read all of this, I'll let you read it. I'm not going to read it through, but you can pause it and read it if you'd like to. So yeah, it's not really a good look for you, buddy. And let's talk about the 1201 though, okay?
Yeah.
So this whole deal is the 1201, the 1201. It's going to set bad precedents, blah 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 blah. And I don't know all the stuff that you're talking about with the ink cartridges and all that stuff. Okay, it might be a bad law in regards to that. That's fine, but I'm not using it that way. Okay, now the implications of it, you can still download someone's video. It's just that you have to have permission to if you want to post the video, just like you would have to anyways, right? I don't see how that's a bad.
What? What the fuck?
I think to use of it, that's fine, but I'm not using it that way. Okay. Now the implications of it, you can still download someone's video. It's just that you have to have permission to if you want to post the video, just like you would have to anyways, right?
Not right. No. Oh.
I don't see how that's a bad thing. Just like you shouldn't be able to download someone's CD or someone's movie, right? It's the same thing. I don't think it's a bad law. Now, as far as the ink cartridges go and all that stuff, I haven't educated myself on that. But for what I'm using the law for, I think it's a good thing. Okay. And I think you said something, correct me if I'm wrong, but something about you can't even screen record. Screen recording is something it doesn't apply to 1201. That's an exception for it. So that's not true at all. So people think that you're not going to be able to record anything anymore. You're not going to be able to publish it. That's not true. As long as you have permission, you can record something still. You can.
Wrong. I don't have your permission to do what I'm doing right now. I don't fucking need it either. I don't need to give you credit. I don't need to link your fucking channel. Nothing. You're tripping. Did you use the like button yet while you've been sitting in here? Because that'd be cool if you did. Thanks.
You can download it and you can record it. But here's the thing the Auditor Troll's doing when he downloads 1,800 videos, right? And then he loads them up and he uses so much of your footage that it creates a market substitute.
Oh
and then you talk about, oh, you're making fun of me. Oh, you take $20 from you. $20? Dude, he's made like 100 videos from me, man. It's not no $20, bro. We're talking thousands of dollars that he's made from taking all of my hater views, right? People that would have watched my video because they hate watch, but they didn't because.
Cat. Tampac's fun for viewers who need one. Thank you.
They can just go watch it on his channel. And then what they do is they watch it on his channel and get their fix. And then they come over to my channel and leave me a comment, hit the dislike and just leave me some stupid comment. And then they leave. And they're there for 20 seconds. So they hurt my retention. So not only is he taking my hate views, but he's actually hurting me in the algorithm from other people seeing my video because they come over for 20 seconds to leave me a bad comment and then leave. That's the number one thing associated with the algorithm is retention. Just like all of your viewers right now, Rossman, are coming over and just talking crap to me. They're not watching my video and then they just leave, hurting me, causing me monetary damages. So it's not just that he stole $20 from you, bro. We're talking thousands of dollars here. Okay. So yeah, if somebody is going to download your video in an improper way, yeah, they should be held accountable for that. But you can still download videos. You can still upload them. As long as you have permission, it's fine. It shouldn't be a big deal. And just to clarify, my attorney did say that, yeah, I can now sue anyone for just downloading the video. It doesn't have to be fair use. He's not going to do that. Okay.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Are you that dense you think that the fucking problem only lies with you and your attorney and you hold this master key to something? Are you really that fucking retarded, Chris? Because that's what it kind of sounds like here is, don't worry, we're not going to sue you. You got nothing to worry about. Your lawyer ain't the only fucking lawyer. What? You're not that dense, right? Trust me, bro.
He said that just out of anger, but he's not really going to do that. We're not going to file any lawsuit on anyone strictly for just the 1201 claim. Okay. You're gonna have to commit copyright infringement first. As far as the precedent goes,
you're gonna have to commit copyright infringement first. You're wrong. How do you, bro, don't. You should have stuck with, I'm not going to talk about this without my lawyer around, unless this is what your fucking lawyer told you, which is wrong. What the fuck? Dude, is this for real?
The law was already in existence. Not, any lawsuit on anger, but he's not really going to do that. We're not going to file any lawsuit on anyone strictly for just the 1201 claim. Okay, you're gonna have to commit copyright infringement first.
Okay. I got you. Okay. I had to listen to it again. So we're not going to file a lawsuit against anybody strictly for the 1201 claim. For us, you're going to have to commit copyright infringement first, which is a weird way of saying that, but that doesn't matter. You're not important. Your lawyer's not important. The future is important. And what other lawyers can do is important. And other lawyers can start a fucking copyright claim just citing 1201 now, saying, you ripped my shit down and I want to sue you. I'm mad. That's what can fucking happen now. Just because you're not going to sue over that doesn't mean diddly squat.
As far as the precedent goes, the law was already in existence. We're just utilizing the law that's already on the books. Okay. And there's no turning back now. I mean, you talk about precedents.
Why are you mad at me that I own other humans? Why is you mad at me about owning other humans? It's legal. The law's on I can own him. That's George, and he washes my underwears, and that's Tina over there. She cleans the goat pens everywhere. Why are you upset that I own humans? Okay, it's the law. It's legal. It's on the books. I can do this. What's the matter? Are you upset that the law exists? Says a fucking activist. Are you kidding me right now? Holy ball sacks. This is crazy. That's what I'm talking about right there. Think about that shit. You're an activist, right? Proponent, First Amendment, freedoms. Got this grand idea of how the world should be and the United States should run, but you got a bunch of people telling you that what you're doing is a big problem. You're tuning them all out. You've got the echo chamber tuned in, and you're only hearing what you want to hear and processing what you want to process. Because the law is on the books, and I can own me a human being, and I don't care. What the fuck?
I can't, even if I dropped the lawsuit today, it wouldn't make a difference. We already won on motion to dismiss. There's already case law now. So, and I'm not telling you to go pick on other people, but I'm not the only one suing for this 1201 stuff. There's several other creators that are doing this, right? As long as you have permission to utilize the video, then you'll be fine. You can download the videos, no big deal, right? So it's not going to set bad precedents, okay?
Quit repeating that. That's not true. You don't need permission.
I don't understand where this bad precedent stuff is coming from. You're wrong, okay? Now, there's other people.
I don't understand, but you're wrong. Think about how you worded that and how you're portraying it to your audience, bud. I don't understand where this is coming from, but bad precedent and blah, 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 blah. But you're just wrong, and I'm not going to capitalize on how exactly you're wrong. Something ain't mathing. Yeah.
People who are just being silly, and
being
I
silly.
think most people are intelligent enough to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together as far as the fee agreement between Randall and me, right? But there's still some people out here who are saying dumb stuff. Oh, he's just trying to make a bunch of money, blah, 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 right? So for the people who aren't smart enough to, put the pieces together and figure it out, yes, he is on a contingency basis. I have not paid him a single dollar. So he's losing money. Not only is he on a contingency basis, he's paid for almost all of the filings on my cases. Okay, I paid for one, maybe two. I know I paid for one for sure. I might have paid for two. So I'm like $400, maybe $800 in. He's paid for every other filing. He's thousands of dollars he's in on this. So he's not making a whole bunch of money. That's why we vibrate on the same frequency. He doesn't care about money. Just like the trolls say, oh, you just care about money.
It's not about money, dude.
What money? That I live in poverty ever since I've started becoming a full-time YouTube creator? That I literally live in poverty now? Is that the money you're talking about? So he doesn't care about the money either. He thinks this is a good case that we can create all the DMCA case law, and we're already doing it. We've already created a ton of DMCA case law. There's not really much law on it. There's the Klein case. There's a couple little ones, but we're making all the case law now.
It's funny you say a little more money, but then you follow it up with a potential that's a little bit more realistic. Case law with dude's name on it. Or the opportunity to set up a lawsuit and be a ghostwriter on a case in the future where he does make a lot of money.
So yeah, he cares about other things besides just money. Of course, he cares about money to a degree. We all care about money. I don't want to be in poverty. I want to make money too. For the people that are saying that, he's just trying to get paid, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what you're talking about. Just like Auditor Troll said, right? It's a 1 in a billion chance that he'd find an attorney that would do this. Yeah, it's true. It is 1 in a billion, but maybe I have someone out there looking out for me because that's what you thought, man. It's a 1 in a billion chance. You knew. Oh, and another thing, Rossman, that you're wrong about, bro. And I hope that you see this video because you're not watching my videos, and you made your first video and then I replied to it and then you didn't watch it because I watched your video where you said you're going to destroy my attorney or whatever you said. And I tell you, you didn't watch it because you said, Denver Metro Audits, I think that I remember meeting you. In my video, I said, hey, remember when we met that one time? And then you keep talking about how YouTube made a fair use determination. You keep saying that in every video. Just because he's Louis Rossman, guys, doesn't mean that he doesn't make mistakes, okay? Yes, Louis Rossman, you're right about a lot of things, but you're not right about this. And I hope everyone can understand.
Down to earth, reasonable human being should recognize in themselves is that we are all fallible to mistakes. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Yes, I make mistakes all the time, consistently. Oh yeah, I'm good at that. I'm sure a lot of you are too.
On YouTube, or you really like him, doesn't mean that he's right about everything. And you're wrong about the 1201, about the implications of it. You're wrong repeatedly. You keep making videos. That's why you should watch my video so you don't keep saying the same stuff over and over again. It's incorrect. YouTube does not make fair use determinations. That's for the courts to determine. Okay. The reason why, and another thing you said, they always side with the person who files the strike. I don't know where you got that. They don't, it's a very strict law. It's black and white. They have to go by a specific procedure. I file the strike, and Auditor Troll files the counter claim, counter notification. Then the DMCA allows for me to have 14 days to file a lawsuit. If I don't file the lawsuit within those 14 days, YouTube is required by law to reinstate the video. That's why the videos got reinstated. It's not because YouTube made a fair use determination. Please stop telling your audience misinformation. For all the people that are just blindly believing Louis.
It's exactly what you're doing.
Louis Rossman because he's Louis Rossman. This is a fact. Look it up. YouTube does not make fair use determinations. How many times has Louis Rossman said in his videos? Twice, in 2 videos so far that I've seen, he keeps talking about them doing that. He's not right just because he's Louis Rossman, guys. You need to understand that. And I tell people the same thing. For me, we all have the people that just believe in everything we say, and it's bad. It's dangerous. I don't like it when people do that to me. I don't like it when people just believe anything I say. That's why I tell people, do your own research. Don't just believe it because I said, but people do that. And Louis Rossman people are doing it big time. And it's not good. It's not smart because it's going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to get yourself in a wreck by doing that kind of stuff. To end this, I'll just say that, Louis Rossman, you said, DMA, just drop the lawsuit. And, I remember meeting you that one day, and I'll have to go back and look, but, just drop this lawsuit and do the right thing. And, I'm sure everyone they'll forgive you. Who are you, man? Are you some kind of shot caller or something? That's the way I perceive that is, hey, you know what? Just like Auditor Troll, they go watch his video instead of yours. And
This isn't going to age well, I don't think, Chris. I foresee this not aging well.
steal money from you because they're watching his video instead of yours. And then they come to your channel and they just leave some shitty comment and then they leave, fucking up your retention, costing you even more money. Well, I know that my audience is doing the same thing to you right now, right? I know that they're coming into your videos to watch 15 seconds of it, to leave a shitty comment and then leave and fuck up your retention. But you know what? Just drop the lawsuit, buddy, and I'm sure they'll forgive you. What is this, a quid pro quo? Just do what I want you to do, and I'm sure my followers will leave you alone. Right? That's the way that came off to me. You're not going to bully me, bro. You're not going to coerce me. I don't know who you think you are, man. And once again, you picked the fight with me. I didn't pick a fight with you, Rossman. We were cool, bro. I met you, man. But just like Otter Troll, he picks a fight with me and I have to respond. I have to reciprocate. Now here we go. I have to call you out. And you know what? Everyone just believes you because you're a big YouTuber and you have 2 million subscribers and you get a bunch of views. And so he must be right. He must be right, guys. I don't need to do any research. I don't need to do my due diligence. I'll just blindly believe Rossman. He's got to be right. I implore all of you to do your research, okay? Look up what the implications of the 1201 is. You're still going to be able to download videos, okay? You can still screen record. You can still download them. You can still upload them even, as long as you make a fair use video, either if you have permission or you make a fair use video, okay?
There you go. That's a little better.
Because we're not going to sue if you make a fair use video. But the law already exists, guys. I can't ban the law. Right? Just like, remember when everyone was all pissed off at Trump because he would take the tax breaks, right? And Hillary Clinton was telling him, and by the way, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Clinton supporter either way, but I'm just stating a fact. But Hillary Clinton would throw that in his face that he took all these tax cuts, right? And he's like, yeah, I took the tax cuts, the same ones that all of her donors take, right? But she doesn't condemn the donors because they're giving her money.
What up, Honor Your Oath? Jacob Crawford. I don't know who that is. You've given me something to look into. Cop Block. I remember Cop Block. She's been around a lot longer than Auditing, that's for sure.
It's the same thing. If that's the law in the books, I'm going to utilize it. Why wouldn't I? Right? It's just like there are certain things in sports.
Listen to this shit.
Right? Why wouldn't I? It's the same thing. If that's the law in the books, I'm going to utilize it. Why wouldn't I? Right?
Damn, if they make fucking slavery legal again, I'm going to use this excuse and I don't want to hear nobody say fucking nothing to me. It's legal to own another human being now. That's the law and I'm going to use it. Says a fucking activist, bro. What the actual shit are we doing right now? Ning, 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 ning.
It's just like there are certain things in sports, right? In baseball, I believe that there should only be 3 balls and 3 strikes. Okay? There shouldn't be 4 balls. If I'm the pitcher,
once
I throw 3 balls, am I going to just say, hey, you know what? I believe there should only be 3 balls. Go ahead and take the bag, man. Right? No, even if you believe that, you're still going to follow the rules of the game because the other team's not going to do it. Right? They're not going to abide by that. So you have to make the playing field even. Right? So of course I'm utilizing this law. All right?
I'm using slavery as an extreme because it'll drive the point home a little bit more for those of you listening.
And it's not about silencing free speech. You don't have a First Amendment right, people, to commit copyright infringement. That's not free speech. You don't understand what free speech is, guys. Free speech is for the right to criticize your government. It has nothing to do with between me and some other person. Okay? Using that much of my footage, and Rossman, you keep talking about 40%, dude. Like 90%, brother. Using 90% of my footage, taking thousands of views away from me who would hate watch me.
I'm at 90% right now, little homie.
And then even hurting me on even more views because then after they watch it on his channel, they come to my channel so they can leave a shitty comment and fuck up my retention because then they just leave because they already saw the video. Right? That's not.
Bro, that is fucking literally what I'm doing right now. What's up?
Protected by the First Amendment, people. I hate to break it to you, but you're wrong. You need to educate yourself if you're sitting there saying that that's free speech. It's not. And you need to do better if that's what you believe and that's what you keep leaving in my comment section. And that's what you're spreading misinformation to other people, that I'm silencing free speech. Yeah, it would make me a hypocrite. It wouldn't give me very much credibility if I tried to silence someone's free speech. That's true. But guess what? I'm not doing that. You're just saying that I'm doing that. You understand? You understand how free speech works? You understand that free speech is for the government? It's for us to criticize the government. You can't come into my house and say whatever you want. I will kick you out of my house. I can't come into your house and disrespect you. You will kick me out, right? Do you want the government to say, hey, it's free speech, you got to let them stay in your house, right? No. That's not the way free speech works, brother. So if you come into my chat and you start talking shit and I kick you out, And then you talk about free speech, free speech. You're here for free speech. That's not free speech. That's not how free speech works. Copyright infringement's not free speech either. All right. So do better on that. And Rossman, I hope
Section 1201 wasn't about copyright or fucking free speech at all. So what? What?
that you consider all the stuff that I said, okay, that you're wrong about. And I hope that you publicly apologize also to your audience for.
Hey, Jeff, now that I got you here, side question here. Are you related to fucking Joshua the Gray? Is it Jeff the Gray and Joshua the Gray? Are you guys like fucking brothers or related cousins or something? You kind of look similar. It's kind of, coincidental. You both live in Florida. You both have the same last name. So what's up? I want to know. Are you related? Is it just a coinky dink? Joshua the Gay? Is that your bro? No relation. Thank you.
Telling someone to go unalive themselves and admit that you're a hypocrite because this happened just a few months ago in November, right? That's unacceptable, man. You don't sit there on your high horse all arrogant like you are and call my attorney out for something when the only reason he did it is because all the abuse he's been taking. I don't know what happened between you and this guy. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was abusing you. There's a thread. Everyone can go read it. But let's just say he was. It doesn't give you any credibility, man. You just did the same thing. Do better, man. Come on. You are an influencer. A lot of people obviously follow your lead. Be a good leader. You're leading people astray. You're wrong on the 1201. You're wrong on YouTube making fair use determinations. You're wrong about my attorney. You don't know him. Yeah, he says some stuff that he shouldn't have said. But you know what? Show all the rest of the stuff. Oh, and the last thing that I want to show you guys is this. Here you go. This one. Because you said that this was actually on I think you said this was on my lawyer's page, but you see it's on my page. He didn't even post this. I did. And then you're like, oh, it's not really a good look for you to make fun of someone's wife, right? It's not really a good look for you to make fun of someone's wife or whatever you said. Again, blame shifting, dude. Like, it's totally okay, I guess, for Auditor Troll to make all of his videos and all of his followers saying all the stuff they want to about Sweet Tea, right? Calling her sweaty tea and making fun of her physical appearance, making fun of her legs, right? That's totally fine. But then if I make fun of Auditor Troll's wife, I'm a bad guy, Rossman. Do you see the hypocrisy, man? You're a hypocrite, dude. I don't know who you think you are, man. But you said in your video, you said, Denver Metro Audits, you fucked up. I'm paraphrasing. You said something like that. I don't think so, bud. Louis Rossman, you fucked up. Do better.
Oh, that was not a good look. $100% lost the plot. Yeah. Auditing and cop watching are 1000% not the same thing. It drives me fucking insane How often people complicate these simple concepts and ideas. Yeah, if you have permission, that's funny. Well, this is a whole solicitation thing. I think that that's why he kept following that up with, well, you're friends with DMA, right? Because if it's friends of a client, that you can solicit to them. And no, Newman, me and DMA are not friends, and I haven't talked to him for a while. At least as long as I learned that he's like every other fucking female dude with a fucking slit instead of, some balls, and they run their mouth in text messages and behind the scene. You know what I mean? I don't associate with people like that. If I'm cool with you, I don't say anything bad about you at all to anybody. So when I hear other people doing it, it's like, all right, that's the kind of people that I don't fuck with. So if you got something to say it to me. Cop watching. Play trolls video? What video? Off the blinds, one judgment. It's not the DMA's office rocker. It's just his ego in action, which we all have. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. So many have turned on Chris. Yeah. It's not going to get any better either. And with the production and release of that mess, yeah, it's not going to get better. Definitely not going to get better, I don't think. Yeah, if Chris or anybody's in here that wants to come up and have something to say about anything I've said, now's the time. Now is the time. So sad to see people say that fucking lawyer did any kind of thing other than get his ass handed to him that entire conversation. If you haven't watched my long debate or conversation with the lawyer at the center of all this, it's in my streams. He's probably sitting in here with his ladyboy watching. That was so sad. That's a lawyer? Bro, I had people that know me for real texting me like, that's a lawyer? I was like, yeah, allegedly. That's a lawyer, I guess. I guess. Came across really unprofessional, you think? Bring up the text from 1201. Should we do a dedicated stream to that? I need a couple streams. We need to do one for that and then explain how it's being woven into this other shit and creating a Frankenstein for other lawyers, essentially, that nobody has control of. Hmm. Go up into his live. What live? Hmm? What live? Expand on that a wee bit for me. Tell me more. This fucking thing is annoying. Two days ago, I didn't know it was live. That's Demon. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I try to like simplify how it works and what the effects could be, is because I trust me, I understand. If I sit here, I bring up the text, I start reading it, I start trying to explain things, and we don't have stuff going on, and people are like, no. Yeah, I know. I know. I've tried to like explain legal stuff to people in real life, like my neighbors and stuff, and I could just see the glaze happen. I could see the fucking glaze happen. Like, I lost him. I mean, if I got an email and an invitation, then yeah, I'd be all over it. Why wouldn't I? Oh yeah, I'd jump up there, stream it to here. Yes'm. Hey, I thought that was funny that John was down to. He offered to debate one of my moderators, but oh, that's funny. So somebody just texted me actually a comment that John left on one of his posts, I guess. If he really wanted to debate, we can set it up properly with a moderator. I guarantee he won't do that on a neutral channel. Is that how he does shit with all these? Why are we setting all these weird parameters? Is this what he does with Frauditor Troll? You do a neutral channel, or does it go on your channel or that dude's channel? Do you set all these weird stipulations with everybody else, or just with me? Also, I'd be willing to wager money if we were on a neutral channel and the audience was polled to see. Also, I'd be willing to wager money if we were on a neutral channel and the audience was polled to see who won the debate. What? What he does is not debate, it's just repeat lies and then cuts off the opponent. You guys sat up here and listened to me talk to that lawyer for hours. Is that how that went? He's a little coward, says the guy leaving comments about somebody who's already called you out and you've avoided the situation. That's hilarious. Hilarious. I was doing a pre-scheduled live stream today and he claimed that I chickened out. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm here right now too. He's a lying cunt. This is so sad, bro. Keep leaving comments to my fucking subscribers and my moderators. He challenged one of my moderators to a debate. That's so funny, dude. That's funny. 4-hour stream, I know. Did I tell lies and completely cut that dude off all the time? I mean, I did interrupt him a couple times, I'm sure. He did the same thing, but I tried to correct myself as much as possible. Go ahead, you know. Go ahead and rewatch that. This is the funniest shit that they say. You can say it, but it doesn't matter that we recorded like 3 hours of a conversation where that like didn't happen the way you say it did. That's hilarious, bro. They all hide behind that. They all hide behind that. Notice that. This is the shit that Fupa said. Now this fucking retard saying it. What have I lied about? I don't know. You keep saying that, but I don't know. It's easy to call somebody a liar and then not expand on that a little bit. Capitalize on your statement. Yeah, they won't. They'll hide behind excuses. Or they just won't say anything. You notice how DMA made this whole video, but uh, the only person he's talking about when I was perpetuating the same shit as Rossman. Bro. He keeps calling me a liar and shit. That's funny. About what exactly? Definitely clickbait, bro. Don't be retarded. Oh, I know. Oh, that's right. Always calling out audit the audit. John Lang. Bro, that's funny. That's true. I forgot all about that. Damn, Adam with more fucking memberships. Thanks, man. You been drinking again, bro? Don't give your money away while you're drinking. That's not good. Don't do that. He already debated me before and won? What the fuck? That has never happened. And won what? What? Bro, these people are beyond delusional. And won what? Nice. Oh, he barely talked when he took over the phone. Oh, I know we have several examples of people calling in and talking to me, conversations. Yeah, I'm a little aggressive and abrasive when I'm live streaming and talking shit, but as long as somebody can be chill while we're talking, so can I. Every situation is different. Everyone with sauce? No, I don't drink. Oh, you mean when John took the phone from the fisherman? Oh, I got you. Is that the debate that we had? That 30-second interaction? What? Hmm. That's funny. I think I'm gonna set up a dedicated phone line, and we'll start doing call-ins. We'll do call-ins again, but it'll be like open for everybody because I already know the fucking idiots ain't gonna call, so we'll just let everybody call in and say whatever kind of thing. That's the only time I've ever talked to that dude is on that phone call. Yeah. You know, you know, I had a dedicated line just for the people I was talking about. Nobody wants to call in, except for a couple idiots, but never know what you're gonna get. I'm sure if I had the phone lines up right now, I'd have drunk people fucking calling. Cowards need to start calling in. They won't. It's easier to hide out in the comments or make videos and never be actually confronted about what the fuck's going on, but I'm all for it. I want to talk. I'll talk to you. Your fucking 30-year law degree don't intimidate me, homeboy. Train guy. Oh no, dude. Yeah, we had some weird people calling in. Oh man, that's funny. That'd be a long edit. Clip all the phone calls that I've ever had into one video. We just got to set up some rules with the call in for how long they can be, that kind of thing. Because I don't want to get stuck talking to you people for like fucking 20 minutes. Keep it short and sweet. I'll extend the time frames if somebody that wants to call in and it's one of these folks that I've been talking shit about, or you want to get into the weeds and some shit. 10-minute calls. Damn, bro, that's a long time. 5 minutes is reasonable. Ah. Five minutes unless it's interesting. We'll come up with some rules, and then me and the moderators will come up with some things to say in the chat. Like if you like the phone call, even if I don't, you could just be like, keep it going once we hit the 5 minute mark. You know what I mean? We'll let the viewers kind of dictate things. If you're like, hang up. If I start, this is the time when I'm doing the phone calls. The spamming is gonna be cool, because then like hang up. You know, if I start seeing fucking hang up being spammed in the chat. What do you think? Three minutes. Well, I had fun. Thanks, Adam, for all the donations. Thank you for being here, folks. I don't love you. We're not friends. Yeah. I don't even like you. But none of those things have to be true for me to appreciate you being here. So thanks. Some think they're interesting when they're not. I mean, bro, I've been streaming for a long time, and it hasn't gotten any better. So I'll smoke a little bit with you guys, and then I'm out of here. We'll be facing off now. What do you mean? Oh, we'll be fucking off now. I got you. Yeah, I must hang out a little bit, but I'm gonna leave too eventually. You're gonna sue me using my half of the call? Except when you stare off into space. Oh, I know. I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking. think I'm gonna edit a video for tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll edit a video for tomorrow. Should we post the lawyers' conversation tomorrow? You guys, what do you think? Cut out all my nonsense and just right to the conversation. Should I do that? What should I title it? Concerned citizen Scott. Those of you chatting, what do you think? Maybe I'll title it one of your suggestions. Clickbait it. Stop talking for 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I started getting irritated. Trying to have a serious conversation. This fucking retard keeps asking me personal questions. Should just piss me off. That's when you know we're not taking this as serious anymore. If we were at all. 3 a.m. phone call from Thailand. This is all it takes to be a lawyer. Dumbass lawyer calls in drunk and gets owned. Moving forward. He wasn't in Florida, though. And I listened to how I asked him that, too. I said, aren't you in Thailand? Don't you live in Florida or something like that? It was something along those lines. And the way he answered was, I live in Florida. He didn't say he was in Florida. Was an idiot. Well, apparently so was I. Not one of your lady boys, yeah. Soliciting friendship. I'm not one of your lady boys. Thought he owned me, huh? Nobody owned anybody. I thought we had a good discussion. We were just talking, right? He owned himself. That's a more accurate way of looking at that. The chat was fucking shitting on him the whole time. That was hilarious. That was funny. That's why I asked him. I was like, "Are you reading the chat, Newman? They're fucking you up right now." Inside the mind of a predatory lawyer. Oh, that shit'll piss him off putting predatory in there. Oh my head. He'd be like, "You called me predator again." I feel like somebody's called you that shit in the past for other reasons, and that's why it bothers you now that it's being brought up. It's like one of them triggering kind of things, maybe. Maybe I'm just reaching. I don't know. I'm only guessing. I really don't know anything. That'll hurt his little fifis. Oh man. Took my kid to the park. We were still going. Did you? Are you the one that emailed me? Yeah, I responded to that. I'm sure my neighbors are starting to hate me by now. My chickens are loud all the time. I got 2 roosters too, so I got 2 roosters. They're just loud in general, bro. Every time they see me, they start fucking cawing at me and shit, making noise. Like, feed me, feed me. It's like, bro, relax. I'm just coming outside to piss. Oh. But I'll tell you what, listening to roosters is so much better than car noise and fucking airplanes and horns and dogs barking and people yelling at each other and babies crying and shit. I don't miss none of that. Picture of who? Picture of who? Who are we talking about? Mopeds with loud exhausts. I mean, fucking anything, dude. The lawyer. He's on the thumbnail of one on the video that I had when I was talking to him. There's only one picture on the internet of him. that I can find. I'm sure he's on, like, court stuff. You can find his picture through the courts, but be careful. I had 5 chickens once, went on vacation, came back to 28 chickens. I know, I need to go collect their eggs, bro. I probably have like 12 eggs out there right now, I think. Between the different roosts that they have. Ooh, go get some eggs and make some egg sandwiches. Some eggs straight out of the chicken nest. Four a day is okay. Yeah, that's about what I'm getting. Between 3 and 5 a day is what I'm getting. Between 6 hens, 6 hens, 7 hens. This ain't the she shed. No, I'm not buying eggs anymore. Sell fresh eggs. Shit. I'll just give some eggs away, bro. I got a lot of them. I have a fridge full of eggs, and I have more sitting out in the nests right now. Darken the yolks. Ooh. I don't know. I don't do none of that shit. Mine are fucking. I feed them mealworms, mixture of crumble, and then I give them seed as like a treat. And then I give them scraps of like bread, old cereal, some vegetables, some fruits, like, old food scraps. Depends on what the food scraps are, though. I'm not trying to feed them no junk. And the eggs I'm getting are the right color, the right yolk color. I love it. Duck eggs? Yeah, my neighbors get duck eggs. They have ducks. Ducks and cows and all kinds of shit. Bragging rights and the ability to use it. Yeah, both of those. Anyway, what up, Ryan?